Happy New Year from the Okanagan. We had an anomaly this year. It was called the Christmas mist. We had a green Christmas. Everyone was hoping that we'd have the snow come on Christmas Eve. No, we didn't get our first taste of real snow until a couple of days ago. Anyways, I've been here almost 20 years and I think I've had a couple of green Christmases. That was it. Back to the task at hand. What's happening with the real estate market? Well, the Bank of Canada has maintained its overnight rate at 5% for the fourth consecutive time. So consumer confidence seems to be a little better than what it was about a year ago when the rate hikes were just bang, 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 and people were getting hammered and the uncertainty was there. Now all of a sudden, it seems like something's loosened up a little bit. I have high hopes for 2024. I think it's going to be better than 2023. So interestingly, the inflation has come down to 3.12%. At this point last year, it was at 6.9%. So the feds have come in, they've done their thing. Now we got some rate stabilization. I'm talking to some realtors and mortgage brokers. It sounds like the rates may come down in 2024, maybe 0.5 to 1.5%. Well, if this is the case, we've had so much pent-up demand in the Okanagan over the last few years. They just can't seem to keep the top on it. So I think that if those rates do come down a little bit, we're going to see 2024 being a little bit better than 2023. Now, people, it's interesting, right? Because if all of a sudden things change just a little bit, like don't forget when people were selling things a couple of years ago, you're in multiple offer situations, or you could even kind of suggest that you'd be getting another offer in, and it keeps the buyers sharp. They need to remove their conditions in time. They need to get all their ducks in a row, and they got to write nice, clean offers and get pretty close to list price. Well, 2023, that climate changed a little bit, where for most of our listings, we had to get price reductions, and it took longer to sell things. Well, if all of a sudden they bring those rates down, we're gonna see things start to move quicker, and I think we're gonna see prices increase again. So, as much as people thought that 2023 may have been a tough year, interestingly, prices, we haven't seen them yet, but once we have all the stats from December, prices will have gone up between 5 and 10%. So even in a correcting market, the prices didn't really come down as much as people would think. Maybe at the higher price point stuff, but if you're under $800,000, then things still move relatively quick. Anyways, for buyers, this is your chance. You get out there and right now and you look while there's still snow on the ground, because as soon as the snow goes away and people get out there again, for whatever reason, people get a little more motivated with the weather. As a buyer, this is a good chance to get out there and get it done. And sellers, you're just going to have to be a little more patient. And the market is not bad by any means, but our absorption rate in the North Okanagan for last month was 15.17%. So that means that almost 16% of everything is sold in the Okanagan, in the North Okanagan. In the Central Okanagan, it was only at 10%. Keep in mind, about 4 years ago, remember we had 96% of every listing sell? So now in Kelowna, which is supposed to be our hub, they've hovered for the last few months around a 10% absorption rate. So as soon as these rates change a little bit, it's going to make a big difference in consumer confidence. So if you're a buyer, get out there and start looking, because your best deals, in my opinion, are going to happen now. And for sellers, remember that, okay, it's not as easy as it once was, but prices still went up 5 to 10%. So put those finishing touches on your home, make it show well, get all the listing stuff put in perfect from day one. Be realistic with your price. A couple of years ago, people would reach and they could get it. Today, it's not going to happen. You need to go out there and you have to price your place according to all the competition, and if all your competition is here, ideally you want to be priced a hair below it, so you're the most competitive listing in the marketplace. That's how you sell stuff in a competitive market. So get some professional advice, price it accordingly, and then you have to go back and you got to look at what the market has done every week, every 2 weeks, because in a market like this, if it doesn't turn quick with the rates and doesn't pick up steam going into the spring, then all the other new listings coming on, if the realtors and this, if the sellers are any good, they're going to be priced competitive against you, and so they're going to try and be a little bit less than you. So it's not like you can just go, you know, throw darts and get bullseyes like we once did. The market is still strong, but it requires a different strategy. So if you're a buyer or seller, remember you can always pick the phone and give us a call. We're happy to answer any of your questions.